Imagine a grand concert hall, packed with people. The air hums with anticipation. On the stage, a young man stands silently by a grand piano. His fingers tremble slightly, not with fear but with something greater, purpose. He raises his hands to touch the keys, and as the first note reverberates, the audience holds their breath. But here's the twist: the young man cannot hear a single sound. This is the story of Liam, a boy who turned silence into music and transformed his greatest obstacle into his most powerful gift. Liam's love for music began as a child. Growing up, his small hands danced across the piano keys as if they were part of him. "One day, I'll compose a piece that the whole world will remember," he would say, his eyes alight with dreams. His father, an old music teacher, smiled proudly. "Music is the language of the heart, Liam. Remember, the most beautiful melodies come from within, but life doesn't always play a sweet tune." At the age of 12, Liam was in a car accident. The doctors saved his life, but the damage was done. He had lost his hearing completely. For days, Liam sat in silence, his world turned gray. He would place his hands on the piano, but the silence mocked him. "What's the point?" he cried to his father. "Music is gone for me forever." His father knelt beside him, held his hands, and whispered, "Liam, you don't need ears to hear music. You only need your heart. The world may be silent to you, but that doesn't mean it has no sound." Those words stayed with Liam, though he didn't understand them yet. Years passed, and Liam stopped playing. The piano sat untouched, gathering dust, much like his broken dreams. Then one day, while cleaning out the attic, Liam found an old metronome. He placed it on the piano out of habit, turned it on, and felt something. As the metronome ticked back and forth, Liam placed his hand against it. He couldn't hear the clicks, but he felt the vibrations. He pressed a key on the piano and again felt a faint thrum travel through his fingertips. That night, a spark reignited in his heart. Liam began to play again, not with his ears, but with his senses. He sat barefoot on the wooden floor to feel the vibrations of every note. He pressed his hand to the piano to connect with its sound, and soon, music became a part of him again. Days turned into months and months into years. Liam developed an extraordinary skill. He could feel the notes, the tones, and the rhythm. What he once thought was silence was now his symphony. At 22, Liam took the boldest step of his life. He decided to write his own music, one he could feel but never hear. 4 months, he worked tirelessly on a composition that told his story, one of pain, hope, and transformation. When it was ready, he shared his idea with a concert organizer who was stunned. "A deaf musician performing a symphony? People will think you're mad." Liam smiled. "I want them to hear what I can no longer hear. To feel what I can feel." Word spread quickly, and soon, the grand concert hall was sold out. People were curious, skeptical, and moved by his courage. And now, we return to the stage. The lights dim. Liam takes a deep breath and places his hands on the piano. The hall is silent, as though the world itself has paused to listen. The first note resonates through the room, and something magical happens. It's as if the music is alive. It dances through the air, vibrating into the hearts of every person in the audience. Liam doesn't hear the music, but he feels it. He feels it in the shiver of his fingers, in the pressure against his palms, and in the floor beneath his feet. Each note flows effortlessly into the next, weaving a tapestry of sound and silence. The audience begins to cry. They are no longer just hearing the music, they're feeling it. For the first time, they understand what Liam's father meant. Music is the language of the heart. When Liam plays the final note, the hall erupts in applause. The sound shakes the room, but Liam only sees it, faces glowing, hands clapping, tears streaming down cheeks. He stands, bows deeply, and for the first time, he doesn't feel broken. He feels whole. After the performance, a little girl approaches him. She tugs at his sleeve and signs, "I can't hear either, but I want to play music like you." Liam kneels down, smiles warmly, and signs back, "You don't need to hear it. Music is already inside you." That night, Liam's symphony, a symphony born of silence, echoed in hearts all over the world. He proved that even in silence, there is music. Even in darkness, there is light. And sometimes the most beautiful songs are the ones we can't hear, but only feel. As the screen fades to black, Liam's final words appear. The world is full of sound, but the heart listens differently. Listen to your heart, and you'll find your symphony.